Does this isekai deserve the hate? Whatever these are called again. What are these called? Fuck, you're not telling me, Google? You being stingy? Parentheses. Yes. Parentheses, yes.
Alright, seems like this is the rabbit hole I'm going down now, so I guess I gotta find the next trash isekai. And apparently this thing is a popular result for worst isekai anime, which probably means it isn't the worst, just a popular answer. Lord knows the actual worst will have us all put on a watch list. Also, before I start on this, let me just remind you guys we're doing the manga, not the anime. I just prefer it that way. Anyways, Isekai Cheat Magician. I know nothing about it other than the fact that it's an isekai and is bad, so let's not waste any time.
Chapter 0 to 1.
The story starts with a baseball game, and before this guy can even make a run, our main character, Taichi, catches the ball. Yeah, we all know what that design is based on. Might as well call him his real name. He and his friend meet up with their lady friend, Rin, and together they are a dynamic trio, with Kirito being the underwhelming one of the group. But despite that, after he saves Rin from a feral biker and has her in his arms, his better in every way friend is jealous of him. Now, you'd think he's jealous because he has a crush on Rin, and shoot, maybe he does. But the real reason for his jealousy is the fact that for all his accomplishments, he's not the MC, and he's not the one getting isekai'd. And his crush is going too! You really gotta feel for this guy. His best friend and crush are gone just like that, and surprisingly enough, he's done even more dirty in the anime. At least in the manga, he's there. In the anime, what trio? It's only ever been Kirito and Rin. Takashi? It's only ever been a dynamic duo. Why she
got 3 bags?
Takashi and this
got a raise.
The dimension hopping seems to have given Rin dementia, as she blames Kirito for hugging her, even though she hung on to him for dear life. But no time to focus on any of that, because they've been sent to another freaking dimension. Though, fortunately for them, it seems they've at least been sent to a peaceful part of that world.
Well,
Peter.
A fire-breathing unicorn attacks them, and without much options, Kirito uses himself as bait to allow Rin to get away. After all, if it's on a different world, an average high schooler is powerless. Yes, this is a real line, I'm not editing anything. Right, because the average high schooler in the real world can take on anything, no matter how dangerous. Fortunately for Kirito, the story just started, so he won't have to die that early, and he's saved by a group of adventurers, their names being...
Who?
Did they actually name the bald guy Balda? If you were gonna be this lazy with his name, why give him a name at all? Heck, why not just be equally as lazy with the rest of your characters? Rin? Nah, that doesn't fit. With that ponytail, I think Ponyetta suits you better.
Yes, sir.
A flower on your hair? Then Petal is the name for you. Blue hair in the anime? It's so obvious! You're bluey! Considering the currency doesn't work there, and frankly, how much money can a high schooler really have, they ask them if they know any jobs they can do. They start to give suggestions like merchant, engineer, farmer. At the Adventurers Guild, they learn they can't get the job if they can't do magic, and worse yet, they use a crystal ball to gauge how much magic is in a person. Well, it was worth a shot. You know, maybe this can become a comedy isekai, where they become farmers instead of OP heroes, and every so often in the background, the world is ending. Yeah, we all knew they'd be overpowered chosen ones. They're so powerful that the Guildmaster and one of their strongest members are called to assess the situation. The Guildmaster tells them before they can become adventurers, they need to learn how to actually use all that power they got, which is where Mueller comes in. Mueller is to take them someplace, and to make sure they trust her, she tosses them her sword, as a show she means no harm. She's unarmed, meaning you can give her all your trust, Kirito. She's giving you her only way of hurting you. Well, except for, you know, the physical enhancement magic she has. I gotta say, as bored as I am with this manga so far, I'm at least impressed with the lack of fan service. Matter of fact, I haven't seen anything that's massive fan service at all. Could this be the one isekai with no fan service? There it is. After confirming how much potential they have, she offers to train them, under the condition they assist with her research. I can help you with your research. The research in question is just how much they can grow in magic capability, and also, I guess, to test out this training ground that won't affect the outside world. Rin is sent to train with Mueller, while Kirito with Lemia, and I can't help but feel there's a bit of romantic tension here. Heck, way back when Rin first saw Mueller, she couldn't help but comment on how unbelievably beautiful she was. Just a reminder, she saw Balda earlier and wasn't foaming from the mouth, but one glance at Elf Girl and it's Zale! Anyways, the training goes as expected for two prodigies. Rin does better fire magic than Mueller, and Kirito breaks the ground. Before any more prodigal training continues, they take a lunch break. What on earth did he just say? Rub-a-dub, thanks for the grab. Noticing that they know strange words and they're incredibly strong, Lemia and Mueller press Kirito on where they actually come from. Now, you could tell them the truth, which would be responsible and the more calm route, or if you really don't want them to know, you could always just...
Damn. AMC?
They mentioned the words they used, plus, if I had to assume, the knowledge Rin had to make blue flames as a reason to assume they're not who they say they are. Before I continue, I think it's my responsibility, no, my duty, to let you guys know that this is a propaganda manga. Rin paid attention at school, and this suddenly makes her the greatest magician that world has ever seen? See, this is how they get you guys. They want you to be glued to those science classes, as if any value can come out of them. Now, what you should really pay attention to is learning how to work a steady job that pays just enough income to keep you. A job that lets you handle delicious food. A job that lets you work with high-tech machinery. A job that lets you feed the people. Put the fries in the bag. It would be our pleasure.
Chalupa, what was all that for?
I don't know, man, I'm bored! Lemia partially knows what they are, as there have been people in the past that have been transported to their world, either by accident or by summoning. And the moment they realize they've been summoned, combined with what they encountered after said summoning, they decide to pay said summoner a visit. That'd be so messed up. Imagine they were summoned because their world is in danger, but instead of relief, they just added more danger for themselves. A 3-week time skip occurs, and now Kirito and Rin have become the Gary and Mary, prodigies this world needs them to be. And off at the side, Mueller and Lemia are glazing, with Lemia glazing Kirito a little too much, stating he's so strong he's moved on from humanity. Wait, oh no. Before they depart, Lemia gives them each a weapon, and it looks like everyone's happy. Except for Mueller for whatever reason. Did you want a weapon too? I got this Wii nunchuck in case you wanted something. It's not an actual nunchuck, but in the right hands, it could be.
Shit, anything's a weapon in the right hand. What?
For the third time! Chuck, but in the right hands, it could be.
Do whatever you want, but you're welcome here, you know? She wants... Wait, she's a tsundere? Mueller?
For the third time, this piece of crap horse makes its appearance, but what's even more shocking is one of them saying being almost eaten alive is nostalgic. Nostalgia, a sentimental longing or wistful affection for the past, typically for a period or place with happy personal associations. Used in a sentence, I was overcome with acute nostalgia for that time I nearly died to a horse. And with their overpowered abilities, they put the poor thing out of its recurring misery. Honestly, he deserves a moment of silence. Let's give him one.
Okay.
I think I've used that sound effect enough times. Even when they're away, Lemia can't help herself but glaze Kirito and Rin, stating they're so strong they could straight up destroy the country if they wanted. And if they're that strong, why on earth would they be summoned? What catastrophic event is about to occur on their world? Well, whatever the situation, there really shouldn't be anything they can't handle given their overpowered.
Bro, you're dragging it. That's far.
The time has come. They're officially adventurers in that magic world. So what kind of crazy quests are they gonna embark on? Stopping bandits? Taking back a village? Maybe even defeating a dragon? Now that they've earned money for themselves, they treat themselves to a stay at an inn, with the girl serving them seemingly catching the eye of Kitty. And she's been kidnapped. But have no fear, everyone, because Balda and his crew are on the case. It's not the kidnapped, but the kidnappers that should be afraid. And they're losing. Pedal's being pressed by Timu Stinger from One Punch Man and his sidekick, Boruto Sasuke. Rin insists to Kirito that she's got them handled and to go rescue In-Girl. In order to find her, Kirito uses his ability in an admittedly cool way. He can enhance himself physically, and that isn't just limited to punches and kicks. He can also enhance senses like hearing. You know, for such a lackluster story so far, that isn't actually too bad of a concept.
What the fuck?
Kirito manages to find Balda and the kidnappers, but now that we actually see the kidnapper himself, I just don't get it. How on earth can this guy defeat my glorious bald goat, Balda? Wait, who's that behind him? Of course, the only way to beat someone as bald as Balda, you get someone balder! And now, it's just Kirito standing alone, 1 versus 2. Might as well be 1v3 if we're counting that bald head. All while he has to worry about In-Girl getting hurt by Kidnapper. How does he expect to win this battle? Well, we won't find out because A, this thing has bored me out of my mind, and B, I'm afraid of Japanese copyright.
You serious?
Okay, fine, I'll tell you how
Come
the fight ends.
What the fuck?
We return to...
What the fuck?
Thankfully, that was a daydream by Stinger, and as punishment, Rin completely fodderizes him and Sasuke. And now that she's taken care of those two, she comes to Kirito's rescue, evening the playfield in this battle. Oh, and those wounds he's got? Yeah, don't worry about that. He healed himself or something, I don't know. And apparently, this guy was a big bald fraud that Kirito defeated in 1 shot. And if he could do that to a bald guy, you can already guess what happened to the twink. Honestly, the kidnappers are lucky Kirito showed up. Had it been Balda, he'd have no other choice but to point his bald head towards his opponents and unleash his wrath. Alright, we're 5 chapters in, and I still don't know why there's cheat in the name of the story. Are we ever gonna get an explanation, or is it just there to look cool? So you're telling me the whole namesake of this story is just down to how powerful they are? Yeah, I don't feel like yelling. Take it away, Deadpool.
That's just lazy writing.
Right,
I'm gonna be honest with you, this story is just really boring. It suffers from a lack of originality, basic characters, predictable plot. Art is good at least, they got that going for them. Though, nothing from this is appallingly bad from my opinion. Heck, there isn't even that much fan service, especially compared to the last 2 anime I made a video on. So, do not get it twisted. Just because this one wasn't as bad as these 2, that doesn't suddenly make this good. I freaking hate that so much. When something's so bad, people suddenly look at something else and say, hey, this thing isn't as bad as that thing. That must mean this thing good. But that's not how it works. Let's say you had the choice between getting your back.
I'm done with it, yeah. Alright.